Hey, what is going on? My name is Jelena Ostrovska from JelenaOstrovska.com, and if you don't know me, I show young entrepreneurs how to grow a profitable online business while creating a limitless lifestyle and having more fun. And today, super pumped for this video just because I do have a book review for you, which is probably a little bit outdated, but I will say this book never gets old and neither is this review. So this book came out probably about 2 years ago as of the recording of this video, and that's when I read it, but I was brand new to the whole online marketing and I did not really, I guess, understand like all of the concepts back then. So the book that I'm holding here in my hands, as you can see, is The .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. Probably one of my absolute favorite books that I always keep on my desk when it comes to growing my business, when it comes to automating. And if you are watching this video, chances are you're maybe considering, should I get this book? Is it really worth it? Is it not worth it? So I'm here to tell you like actually 5 of my biggest lessons from the book, like kind of my biggest takeaways out of the book, because I will say this book has 240-ish pages, but like it could be even a bigger book, but there's just so much information like within those 200 something pages. So I will say like it is going to keep you busy if you actually do dig into this. So it may look small, but it contains a ton of golden information that I'm about to share with you. Just a couple of takeaways out of it. So first of all, like I will say, this book, that is something actually Russell Brunson claims about the book. It is not about getting traffic to your website. It is not about increasing your conversions. But once you implement all of the concepts that are being taught in this book, you will be getting more traffic and your conversions, like, meaning how many sales you're going to be getting on your offers, it will definitely increase if you just implement it. And like he calls like the .com secrets, it is a shortcut, which me personally, like I don't really believe in shortcuts, just because I always feel like you have to go like through the whole long way like that every entrepreneur goes through. But I will say that like this book will save you a ton of time. And here's the best part, like Russell still offers this book as like for free. You just have to pay the shipping. So I will include the link down below for those of you who have not read it yet but want to get your hands on it and learn some automation. So this book might be short, but like I will say one thing, like it is definitely the go-to book for every single entrepreneur. If you are an online business owner, if you're an offline business owner, but you just want to be able to make more money, to have more clients, to have more automation and more leverage in your life, because if you're putting all of your effort, all of your time into your business and you don't have any ways to leverage that time, I mean, that's just going to become another job that you may not want to have in your life. So that is basically the reason why I started diving into this book at this particular time, like at the end of 2017 for the second time, just because I did want to have some more automation and some more leverage in my life. So I figured that would be a good time to do this review for you as well, especially if you want to take 2018 by the horns if you're not doing that already. So I will say this book is for every entrepreneur. If you're a network marketer, if you're like a doctor, a lawyer, like any profession, I will say that book is totally like generic because the principles can be applied to everything. The concepts are golden. So let's go ahead and dig right into it without any further ado. So first of all, like the one thing that Russell does share that I'm about to share with you, like he does share the secret formula for all of the entrepreneurs for like basically like the whole idea of having your own business, which he basically breaks it down into 4 questions that you need to answer. You may want to take a couple of notes of that unless you have already purchased the book and you can't wait to like get your hands on it. So number 1, like who is your dream client? Like who's the perfect person that you would like to work with? Is it somebody who already owns a business? Figure out like who is your best client, like the person that you are just dying to work with. It doesn't have to be like a million of people that are going to like stand in line to wait, to work with you. Obviously, it is not going to be everybody, but like who's really the perfect client? So figure that out. Number 2, like where are they? So what do they read? What kind of magazines are they reading? What kind of books are they reading? What kind of events are they going to? So where do these people hang out at? Because you do need to figure out where are your clients, right? Where are your prospects? Number three, what bait are you going to use? Like fishman? I'm sorry, I'm Russian, so I don't know, the exact phrase, but what kind of bait are you going to have to be able to attract them? Meaning, what kind of, maybe free ebook that you're going to have, a free giveaway, something for free that can attract your potential customer. Number four, what results do you want to provide them? So basically, here's what Russell's done. He's used this exact formula to attract me as his perfect customer through this book. He used this as a bait and kind of got me into his world. He offers multiple services, multiple products, a lot of different things that I'm basically in the market for, right? So, and obviously, he promised me a result, with this particular book, how to get your funnels together, how to get your automation together, and I was totally the perfect fit for this book. Even back when I purchased it, even when I was not ready for it, I totally wanted to have that kind of automation in my life at some point. So those 4 questions, that's the whole secret formula to really understand, how to build your business. You see what I'm saying? So the takeaway number 2, actually one thing before I even dig into that, I will say, I personally have not listened to the audio version of that, but I will say that it is obviously available, when you grab this book. But I will say this book contains a lot of different graphs, a lot of different visuals, a lot of different resources. So I will say for me, I'm being a visual person, I always need to read the book. That's why if you're someone like me, then I just don't, suggest the audio version, just because I personally have not listened to it. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I will say those kinds of books that should be you should be on your desks, you need to actually read them and read them multiple times. Highly recommend that, because every single time you read it, you're always going to find out something new, to learn something new from the book. So the major lesson number 2 that I got out of this book is there are 3 types of traffic online. So there's one traffic that you control, there's type of traffic number 2 that you don't control, and there's type of traffic number 3 is the one that you own. So, and the one that you own is exactly where you want to go, obviously. So, let's say the traffic that you do control, it could be your, maybe a Facebook Live that you do, maybe it can be your capture page, maybe it can be any of the things of your own marketing. Traffic that you don't control, maybe from third parties or third party places that is coming over to your website, so you don't really know what's going to happen when that traffic comes to your capture page. And the traffic that you do own is going to be your own email list. Okay, the people that that have subscribed to one of your offers, that you're building relationships with, that you're building that trust with. So that is going to be the traffic that you own, is your own email list. And that's basically the ultimate thing that you do need to have inside of your business. It's your, one of the very few assets that you do own online. So that's why this book is really huge into building your own email list, which you should be doing regardless of what kind of industry you are building a business in. So the major lesson number 3 is, marketing is always about storytelling. It's always about sharing either your own story, either somebody else's story. And Russell basically calls it the concept of attractive character. So it's basically it could be your own story, just like I said. That attractive character could be somebody else. If you're in network marketing, it can be somebody else's story, or you feel your story is maybe not powerful enough just yet. And there's a couple of things about attractive character that I want to mention in this video. Is number 1, every attractive character has a backstory. So for me, I'm just gonna give you my example. I was a high school student, I was 18 years old, and my parents got me into network marketing. So that's kind of a backstory of how I got involved into the whole business space. So number 2, attractive characters, they do share their stories in parables. Hopefully I am pronouncing that right. So they share it quickly in very short paragraphs. They don't mess around with tons of biography or whatever. And so then they do have they don't have flaws. For me, my biggest flaw is probably my English. Some people say that it is pretty good, but I will say that has been one of my flaws. Every attractive character, they are not perfect, so neither should be yours. And number 4 is, the power of polarity. you know, when it comes to like sharing a story of the attractive character, there has to be something that you may disagree with. So for me, for example, like my polarity is, and I know so many people disagree with me on that, is, you know, the fact that I did not go to university, so I just had to figure stuff out on my own. So I will say I'm pretty against like universities and colleges and everything, with like a couple of exceptions, obviously. Not gonna dig into that here, but that's like kind of one of my polarities that I usually come with, and a lot of people do know about that. So that's kind of like an example that I wanted to give you so you understand like the whole concept of the attractive character. So number 4 is like there are 7 phases of a funnel. So obviously the book is all about funnels, it's all about automation, it's all about like, you know, processes and how you can like take your business online and like build it using the funnels. I will share with you the phases, and then like the rest I highly recommend just digging into the book, but I will show you like just a tiny little like sneak peek from the book. Phase number 1 is traffic temperature. So just understand that whenever you are online, there's going to be people that are like, you know, cold prospects, people that don't know anything about you, people that are like warm market, maybe like somebody emailed their email list about you, so that'd be like some warm traffic. There may be like hot traffic, which is your own email list. So you have to understand, like when it comes to building funnels, you always have to tailor the language to the markets that you're speaking to, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, whether it's warm. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the pre-frame bridge. Okay, so that is basically like, you know, the next step of the funnel is like how are you going to pre-frame like yourself, your product, your offer, whatever the case may be. Number 3 is you need to qualify subscribers. So you need to give something away for free to figure out which person of that particular traffic is going to be your subscriber. Then you need to qualify your buyers, you know, then you need to have something like a low ticket offer, maybe like a book, maybe a video, maybe like your mini course or something like that, that you can give away for like a $17 offer that would qualify people who are buyers immediately. Another point, which is number, let me see, I do have a couple of notes just to make sure that we are on track, is identify hyperactive buyers. And that's when you actually start building up those funnels with different upsells, with different one-time offers. If you're familiar with any of that, then kudos to you. If you're not familiar with that, you are about to dig into this book anyways. So number 6 is you need to age and ascend the relationship. That's when people get on your email list, maybe on your buyers list, and then you start communicating with them. And then number 7 is you need to change the selling environment. So whenever you sell different things, you know, just selling through email is probably not going to be a good idea. You may want to ship something to your audience. You may need to do a webinar. You may need to get on the phone. You may need to do like a live workshop or a live event or something like that. So there's always different ways to like change the environment of like the selling process. And last but not least, like, you know, the last takeaway is email marketing. Like I've really learned a ton from Russell when it comes to email marketing, and he basically taught like, you know, one concept, which is soap opera emails, to where somebody subscribes to your email list, they start getting emails from you like automatically, which is going to be your follow-up email. So he really stressed on that. He taught a lot about email marketing in this particular book. And then another thing that he also mentioned quite a bit, which was like what to broadcast your email list about, because whenever you do build out your email list, then the next question people usually ask is like, what do I email about? So he gave like a ton of ideas what you can email your email list about. It can be like your videos, it can be your YouTube videos, it can be your blog posts, your webinars, your special trainings, like, you know, different promotions, different stories, maybe like a Facebook status update. So he really like gave a lot of information when it comes to email marketing and just like the whole process. So I personally highly recommend that book for honestly any niche, any industry, any market, especially if you just want to take things like online, or maybe like you do have an offline business that you don't intend to take online, but you still want to learn the process of the funnels, because the funnels don't necessarily need to be online. They can be done even offline. It is a really creative process that Russell does share in the book. So I really hope you enjoyed this book review on the .com series by Russell Brunson. If you still have not got this book, be sure to grab it. I'll put the link down below into the comments, into the description box on YouTube. It is going to be on my website, obviously, if you're checking this video out on my blog. So So if you read this book, let me know what was your biggest takeaway. Drop a comment down below, and also be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below what was your biggest takeaway. Like I said, be sure to subscribe. Do not leave my YouTube channel without subscribing if you do want to get trainings just like this. And also for more trainings just like this one, be sure to go over to my website JillianaOstrowska.com, grab your free gifts over there, so you're going to be on my email list and I can send you some cool stuff. So hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye.